here with head coach of the Boston Junior Rangers, Danny Ferry. And coach, I know not the result you wanted today, but you got to be proud of this group.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Like going in the locker room after a game like that, and you see the guys who give everything to the program, and the sacrifices that they've made as far as just being here in general, right? You got guys from all over the world, never mind just all over the country. So it's tough to get to this game and not come out with the result you want. But with that being said, it's a season to be proud of, and I truly mean that. Like, I came on with the team halfway through the season, and it's been unbelievable. I just told them, I enjoyed being at the rink every single day, and that's the honest truth. So obviously it's not the result, but that's a great hockey team that they got over there, Worcester. They're well coached, and they wanted it, right? And they're a great hockey team, so you got to give them credit, and you got to give our guys credit, right? With the score of the game, you got guys still battling and laying out for pucks and blocking shots, so it's a season to be proud of.
And coach, the EHL Premier level, it is all about development, right? So guys like Sweetie, Retzel, Amadon, I know they've all gotten some brief time with the EHL this year, but I would consider this probably a job well done. I think they're probably going to go up to the EHL next year. For guys that are going to stick around that you guys try to bring back, what do you think they learned from this Frozen Finals week that they can take into next year?
Yeah, and that's a great point, right? That's what we just talked about in the locker room. And not even just with hockey, with life in general, right? Like, it's a learning curve, and it's something that obviously these guys will always remember being here and making it to this game. But yeah, for those guys that do move up, it gives them a little fire, right? To have a good off season and prepare the correct way, and for the guys that would like, obviously, if in a perfect world you have as many guys back as you can, and I know in hockey that's tough, right? Guys do different things and go their own ways, but for those guys that are back, it's like I just said, it's another fire that you have in the back of your head to dig deep in those summer days when you don't want to be at the gym and you don't want to be on the ice. You want to be enjoying summer, but it's motivation, and those guys down there, right? Like it's hard to put those jerseys on for the last time as a family, right? Like any hockey team when the season ends, right? There's going to be guys that don't come back or guys that move other places, and that's the hardest thing, is leaving that room and knowing that's the last time. But yeah, those guys that'll move up and be back with us next year, they're from top to bottom just great hockey players, and in my eyes, more importantly, great humans, right? Like very respectful and hardworking, and they're just a great group of guys all around.
And coach, immediately after the game, I saw you go over to your goaltender, Luciano Cinapi. What were some words you exchanged with him?
Yeah, obviously Luch he's a competitor, hell of a hockey player. I just told him, right, it is what it is, and you did your job, right? The score of that game doesn't resemble Luch. I still think he made some big time saves. And like I just mentioned earlier, it's top to bottom. You win as a team and you lose as a team. And I know as a goalie, I wasn't a goalie, but they tend to hold themselves accountable for stuff for losses like that. And I just told him, I said, hey, you have a lot to be proud of, and he's got a ton of room to grow. So just trying to keep him positive, and it's hard, right? It sounds corny, but you move on. And it's, be pissed about it, but there's nothing you can do after a game like that. But he's an ultimate competitor. He hates losing, loves winning, obviously, and it's tough when you lose a game like that. So, just trying to keep him positive and pick him up.
And coach, one more question for you as far as, like you said, you came in halfway through the year. What is something that maybe you've taken that you could kind of improve on for next year, as far as you're very young in your coaching career, and getting onto an experience like this was huge for you also?
Yeah, absolutely. When I took the job, it was like you just mentioned, halfway through the season, or around halfway through the season, and it was overwhelming for me, right? Like, I'm not much older than these guys when you really think about it, so it it was a learning curve, and I still got a ton to learn. I think no matter what level you coach at, guys in the NHL, they're learning from other guys. And, I had the privilege to be with Rich, and, he's done it for, 13, 14 years. So there really couldn't be a better guy to kind of have as a mentor. He's super positive, and he, helps me when I have questions, and he's been a good role model for me as far as like the little things, practices and all that, that's easy for me. I've played hockey my entire life, but as far as handling different personalities and keeping guys positive when they're in and out of the lineup, and goaltending if you're not playing, all that side of things, it was definitely a learning curve, and I got a long way to go. And yeah, like I said, I can't give enough credit to DCAP for not only helping me, but just the way he runs the organization. He's from top to bottom, owners and DCAP. It's just been phenomenal, and I got a long way to go, and come back next year and hopefully be back in this spot again with on the other end of this game.
Awesome. Coach Danny Ferry of the Boston Junior Rangers, thanks so much, and
Yep.
congrats on a successful season.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.